Just as the bride turned her head, her young husband suddenly looked 10 years older. Even her father was stunned, but she didn't seem surprised at all. She stayed calm, like this had happened before. And soon enough, the young version of her husband appeared again. The wedding continued as if nothing had happened. Later at home, the bride was full of joy as she talked to him. But in the next moment, he vanished right in front of her. The man's name was Henry. He was a time traveler. He could jump through time, to the past or the future, without warning. Every time it happened, he arrived with nothing on. So the first thing he always had to do was find clothes. He never knew when it would happen or where he would end up. Because of this, Henry stayed away from people. He avoided making friends and never let anyone get too close. He had no idea when his life would ever feel normal. Then, one day at the library, he met a girl. She looked right at him and called out his name. She said he once told her they'd meet here. Now it was happening, just like he said it would. Her name was Claire. Henry didn't recognize her at all, but he realized something important. It had to be his future self who met her in the past. Claire invited him to dinner. She picked a Thai restaurant, which happened to be his favorite. She said she would tell him everything during the meal. Henry agreed. That evening, Claire showed up early. She waited until Henry arrived, out of breath. She didn't care that he was late. As soon as he sat down, she started telling their story. She said that when she was 6 years old, she went camping in the woods behind her house. While she was alone on the grass, she heard a man's voice asking for a blanket. She handed it over. A man stepped out, wrapped in it. That man was Henry. He told her they would be friends one day. Claire didn't believe it at first, but Henry said he might come back again. He even asked her to leave some clothes outside just in case. As they shook hands, Henry slowly disappeared. That was their first meeting. Their last meeting was when she turned 18. Claire wrote down everything about their encounters, every visit, every detail. Over the years, she kept reading those pages and fell in love with him. She waited for him to return, and one day, he finally did. That night, Claire brought Henry home and introduced him to her friend Rachel and Rachel's husband, Gomez. Rachel liked Henry. Gomez didn't. He thought Claire was being too trusting. This was her first serious relationship, and he didn't want her to get hurt. The next day, Gomez saw a man in women's clothing walking down the street. As he got closer, he realized it was Henry. Henry's first question was about the date. Gomez thought something was wrong with him. He had no idea Henry had just jumped from another time. Henry couldn't get an answer. He broke into a store and grabbed some clothes. Gomez followed and kept asking what was going on. Henry told him the truth. Gomez didn't believe a word. Then Henry vanished right in front of him. The next morning, Gomez rushed to Claire and begged her to stay away from Henry. Claire didn't care what anyone said. She told him her entire life had led to Henry. She had been waiting for this. And now that he was finally here, she was happy. Meanwhile, Henry traveled back in time again. He found something to wear and took the subway. On that train, he saw his mother. He couldn't help but talk to her. He told her he loved her music. He said he had met someone named Claire and that they were in love. Henry felt at peace in that moment. He wished Claire could hear his mother's music too. As the train reached its stop, he got up to leave. His mother called out to him. She told him not to forget to share his feelings with that girl. Back in the present, Henry proposed to Claire. He placed a family heirloom ring on her finger. She said yes. From that day on, no matter when he disappeared, the ring on her hand reminded him where home was. But what Henry didn't know was this. For Claire, this marriage would become the greatest love of her life, and the greatest heartbreak too.